My child, stop right where you are. I am speaking to you with the authority of the heavens, and I am commanding the world to go silent so you can hear my voice. Do not look away, for Archangel Michael has stood guard over this exact second, holding back the shadows so this light could reach your heart. You think this is a random moment in your day, but I tell you, this is a divine appointment that was written in the stars long before you were born. There are only minutes left for you to receive what I am pouring out, and if you turn away now, you risk walking back into the darkness that has tried to claim your peace for far too long. I am reaching into the core of your being, stopping you mid-thought and mid-distraction because the clock of destiny is ticking. You have lived through cycles of heaviness and routines that have drained your spirit, but today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, but this very hour, the cycle ends. I see the silent sacrifices of your mother. I have heard the whispered prayers of your sister, and I have bottled every tear shed by your loved ones who have knelt in the dark asking for a miracle on your behalf. For their sake and for the sake of the calling on your life, you must listen. This is not noise. This is not for the crowds. This is a prophetic encounter designed specifically for you. While 99% of the world stays busy, distracted, and entertained, they will walk right past the quiet door I have opened. But you are different. You are here because your soul cried out for more, and the Divine Father has answered. There are only precious minutes left in this window of visitation. If you delay, the sharpness of this truth will fade. If you hesitate, the cost of your response will grow. I am not using hype or exaggeration. I am using the language of eternity to wake you up before the sun sets on this opportunity. Feel the weight of this moment. Archangel Michael is standing by your side even now, his wings shielding you from the distractions that seek to pull you back into the void. Your heart was made for more than mere survival. It was made for the glory I am about to reveal. The surprise I have for you is not entertainment. It is a total realignment of your destiny. You have hours left in this day to make the choice that will change the trajectory of your entire family tree. Do it for your heart. Do it for the legacy of your mother and sister. Do it because God has stopped the universe just to speak to you. The door is open, the time is now, and the Father is waiting. Stop right where you are. The atmosphere around you has been frozen by a divine decree, and I am reaching through the noise of this world to capture your focus. This is not a moment for the masses. This is a sacred, private encounter between you and the divine Creator. Archangel Michael is standing guard over your soul at this very second, shielding you from every distraction that seeks to steal your attention, because the window for this revelation is closing. You have only minutes left to respond to this frequency before the portal of this specific grace shuts. I am not here to entertain your mind or shock your senses with empty hype. I am here to soften your heart, which has grown weary from the cycles of this world. I see the hidden burdens you carry, the ones you hide from the world but that keep you awake at night. I see the love you hold for your mother and the deep protection you feel for your sister. I know that your heart has felt restless, even when everything on the outside looked fine. That restlessness was my voice calling you to something deeper. Today is the day that the heaviness is lifted, not through fireworks or loud displays, but through a quiet, supernatural understanding that will shift your entire reality from the inside out. Hear the seriousness in my voice, wrapped in an eternal love that transcends human comprehension. Heaven is leaning in at this very hour, not to judge you, but to witness your awakening. Moments this rare are watched closely by the Father and the hosts of heaven because they are the turning points of a destiny. You are standing in that turning point now. You have only hours left in this day to align your spirit with this truth. Do not let this door close. Some doors in the spirit realm close silently, without warning, simply because the moment was ignored. I do not want that for you, and I do not want that for your loved ones who are tied to your breakthrough. I am not pushing you with fear. I am inviting you with the firm authority of a father who refuses to let his child wander any longer. The surprise I have for you is the gift of clarity. You will finally understand why the old paths never brought you peace and why the weight you carried was never yours to bear. Open your heart just enough to stay present in this divine flow. Archangel Michael has cleared the way. The Father has spoken your name, and the time is now. Do not wait for tomorrow does not hold the power of this specific hour. Your life, your family, and your legacy are being realigned today. I am calling for your total honesty in this final hour. I am not asking for empty promises or a show of strength. I am asking for your absolute awareness as the clock strikes the midnight of your destiny. At this very second, Archangel Michael is standing behind you, his hand upon your shoulder, steadying you because the revelation I am about to release is too heavy for you to carry alone. You have only minutes left to grasp the truth of this visitation. The Father is leaning in, and the breath of the divine is brushing against your soul. The surprise I have for you, the one that will shift the foundations of your world today, is this: you are not as lost as you think you are. You are not as far behind as the enemy has whispered to your mind, and you are not as disconnected as it has felt during those long, lonely nights. I have been watching the quiet path that led you to this specific moment. I saw every small choice, every hesitation, and every time you felt that inner restlessness that you tried so hard to ignore. Nothing about this moment slipped past me. I have seen the way you have fought for your heart, and I have seen the silent hope you carry for your mother and sister. You did not arrive here by chance. You arrived because your spirit was finally ready to hear what could not reach you before. There were other days when your heart was too guarded, too tired, or too full of the world's noise to stop. In those moments, I did not force you. I let them pass. But I will not let this one pass, for there are only hours left before this specific portal of grace is sealed. If you wait until it feels safer, you will miss the power of the storm. If you wait until you feel stronger, you will miss the beauty of my strength. Today, you must listen with the ears of your soul. I am realigning your life for the sake of your bloodline. For every prayer your mother whispered in secret, and for every dream your sister holds dear, I am moving on your behalf now. Do not wait until it is too late for this moment to do what it was created to do. Say it boldly in your spirit: I stand in faith, and claim every promise that has been spoken over your life from the beginning of time. This is the unfolding of your reason for being. The timing is perfect, the authority of God is absolute, and the love I have for you and your loved ones is the fire that burns away the shadows of your past. Stay present. The shift is happening this very minute. Stop right where you are, for the heavens have paused to witness this encounter. I did not bring you here by accident, and I did not speak to you sooner because your heart was not yet ready to carry the weight of what I have to give. Timing is not just about urgency. It is about the divine readiness of your soul. Every chaotic moment, Every painful delay and every disappointment you have endured was a tool in the hands of the divine, shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for this very hour. You have only minutes left to recognize that the space I kept open in your life was reserved for this exact moment of truth. While you were living your days, I was working in ways you could not see. I was the one protecting you from paths that would have stolen more from you than you could afford to lose. I was the one closing doors that looked beautiful on the surface but held nothing but hidden pain underneath. I see the sacrifices of your mother and the silent hopes of your sister, and I tell you now, I was never absent. I was being careful with your destiny. I was slowing you down so you wouldn't rush into a wound, making sure your life did not move so fast that you would miss the deeper call rising inside you today. Archangel Michael stands as a sentinel over your timeline, ensuring that nothing interrupts this alignment. Divine timing is not loud or dramatic. It is gentle, precise, and absolute. It does not shout. It whispers to the depths of your heart, asking if you are willing to stop and pay attention. You felt unsatisfied with surface answers because you were made for the depths of the Father. You felt restless because your spirit knew that a different life, a divine life, was waiting for you to simply become aware of it. There are only hours left in this day to accept that you are being held in place by God Himself just long enough to listen. This is not about achievement. It is about the awareness that you are being watched over, loved, and guided by a power that transcends this world. Today, the confusion ends. The sense of being lost is revealed as a lie, for you were simply being positioned. Open your spirit to the Archangel Michael's protection and the Father's embrace. Do not let this moment slip away into the noise of tomorrow. The reason for your existence is unfolding now, in this very minute, for the sake of your soul and the salvation of your loved ones. The clock of heaven is striking, and the invitation is yours to claim. Stop right where you are and breathe in the gravity of this second. I allowed you to feel the agonizing ache of repetition so that you would finally long for my direction. I let you wander through the valleys of silence so that you would learn to value the crystalline clarity I am releasing to you this very hour. None of your pain was wasted. None of your tears were in vain. It was all a divine preparation, a softening of the hard places in your heart that once resisted the truth. You were meant to open this now, not a minute sooner, not a day later, because you are no longer a child chasing distractions. You are a soul hungering for understanding. Your heart has been whispering deeper questions in the dark. Why does this cycle keep happening? Why do I feel this void even when life looks fine? Those questions were the labor pains of your readiness. Archangel Michael is standing over you now, marking this moment as holy ground because you can finally sit with the truth without shutting down. You can sense the importance of this message without needing the shallow drama of the world. This is the proof of your growth. Listen to me clearly. There are only minutes left in this window of alignment. Alignment is a rare and precious occurrence where timing, readiness, and your willingness meet in a brief, burning flash of grace. It does not last forever. The door that is open today may be sealed by tomorrow. I am calling you to recognize that your tolerance for emptiness has finally worn thin, and that is not weakness. It is the hunger of a lion ready to receive nourishment instead of noise. God is watching your response. Archangel Michael is holding back the spirits of doubt. Everything you have endured, the stretching of your patience, the exhaustion of your spirit, was to prepare you for what I am offering now. This is for the peace of your heart, the legacy of your mother, and the future of your sister. Your loved ones are tied to this moment of awareness. Do not let the clock run out on this divine appointment. You have hours left to claim the alignment that will change everything. Open your spirit fully, for the Father is here, and the transition you have prayed for is happening this very minute. Stop right where you are and let the world fade into silence. This is not a moment for the fragile of heart, but for the soul that recognizes a divine invitation. Archangel Michael is standing guard over your timeline, and God Himself is leaning in to whisper a truth you were never meant to hear until this exact second. There are only minutes left for you to accept this frequency before the window of this alignment shifts. Destiny is not a pressure, my child. It is a sacred invitation. It does not demand that you become someone else. It invites you to finally become who you have always been in the eyes of the Father. You have only hours left in this day to understand that your past, the chaos, the silence, the closed doors, was not a mistake. It was a careful, patient preparation. If this word had reached you earlier, you would have dismissed it. If it came later, it would have felt too heavy to carry. But it has arrived today with the perfect weight, enough to matter, but not enough to overwhelm. This balance is no accident. It is the fingerprint of the divine upon your life. As you listen, you may feel something settling deep within your heart. That quiet recognition, that sense of peace that fits in a way nothing else has. That is not your imagination. That is alignment. When the truth of the heavens meets the readiness of your spirit, it feels steady, not chaotic. I see the love you carry for your mother and the protection you feel for your sister. Know this, Archangel Michael is not just guarding you, but he is guarding the legacy of your loved ones because you have chosen to stop and listen. Your path is gently turning now, not away from who you are, but toward the destiny you have been becoming all along. You are not being rushed, you are being guided. The Father is not ahead of you demanding speed, nor behind you pushing you into fear. He is beside you, guiding each step as it comes. You were meant to open this now because you have reached a point where direction matters more than speed, and where truth matters more than comfort. Nothing you have done disqualifies you. Your questions do not make you less chosen. They make you ready. The clock is ticking, but do not let it turn into anxiety. Let it turn into attention. Give this moment your heart, for today is the day your path begins to shine with a clarity you have never known. The King is with you, the heavens are witnessing your response, and the time for your breakthrough is this very minute. Stop right where you are. The Father has summoned a divine silence around you, because the surprise you expected was never what He intended to give you. While the world searches for a shock that startles the mind and fades like a dying spark, I am releasing a divine revelation that is settling into the very marrow of your bones to awaken you. There are but minutes left for you to embrace this shift. Archangel Michael stands with his sword unsheathed, guarding the perimeter of your soul, ensuring that this moment, the one meant only for you, is not stolen by the noise of the enemy. You thought the surprise would be a loud sign or a sudden change in your circumstances, but the Divine Father has prepared something that reaches deeper than information. Information can be forgotten, but revelation changes the very fiber of who you are. Today, the question is not what is happening, but who are you becoming? This moment feels heavier and quieter than you imagined because your heart recognizes that it is not learning something new. It is remembering a truth that has been buried under layers of fear and repetition. The clock is ticking, and there are only hours left in this day to claim the identity being revealed to you. This is the surprise, an identity that does not arrive like a headline, but like a deep, ancient recognition. It feels familiar because it was written in your spirit before you were ever in your mother's womb. It feels obvious because it is the truth that your sister and your loved ones have sensed in you even when you could not see it yourself. God is addressing the root of your restlessness. When your identity becomes clear, your direction will follow without force. You have spent so long searching for clarity outside of yourself, begging for signs and explanations. But today, the divine authority is stopping your search. You can no longer pretend you do not know who you are. You are chosen. You are prepared. You are protected by the host of heaven. Stay in this moment, for it is a preparation shaped by the highest care. Your life carries a meaning deeper than you have ever allowed yourself to believe, and the Father is beside you now, whispering that this is only the beginning. Do not turn away, for the alignment is perfect, and the transformation of your heart must happen this very minute. Stop right where you are. The Father has summoned a divine silence around you because the surprise He has prepared was never meant to be a fleeting shock to your mind, but a permanent awakening of your soul. Archangel Michael stands with a drawn sword at the gates of this hour, guarding the perimeter of your spirit because there are only minutes left for this revelation to take root. This is not about information that you will learn and forget. This is about a divine revelation that changes how you see yourself forever. I see the exhaustion in your heart. I have heard the whispered prayers of your mother and the silent hopes of your sister. You have spent so long asking, "What is wrong with me?" But today, the divine authority is shifting your perspective. You will no longer ask what is wrong. You will ask what is being formed within you. This restlessness you have felt, the weight that kept you awake at night, was not a sign of failure. It was the wisdom of your spirit refusing to settle for a life beneath the truth. It was a calling from God Himself, preparing you for this exact second. The clock is ticking, and there are only hours left in this day to accept this restoration of your sight. When you see yourself through the lens of the Creator, fear loses its authority over your family, shame loses its voice in your home, and confusion loses its grip on your mind. This could not come earlier because you would have tried to turn it into a task or a burden. But now you are ready to receive it as a steady place to stand. Your value does not come from your productivity or your success. Your value exists because you were formed with intention by the hand of the divine. Do not rush to define this. Awakening is not something you complete. It is something you allow. Even now, Archangel Michael is clearing the atmosphere so you can breathe in the truth. You are not behind, you are not lost, and you are not disqualified. You are being invited to remember who you have always been beneath the noise of the world. This revelation will not fade when this moment ends. It will continue to work quietly within you, restoring dignity to your name and peace to your loved ones. The Father is not ahead of you demanding speed, nor behind you pushing you into anxiety. He is beside you now, in this very minute, watching this truth take root in the fertile soil of your soul. Transformation does not begin with your effort. It begins with your recognition. Today is the day the cycle of striving ends and the life of truth begins. Stay in this feeling. Let it settle. For the sake of your